Good evening. You're welcome to another edition of Travel with Me, your one-stop travel destination show coming to you live from Lagoonradio, your number one online gospel radio broadcasting from Marina, the very heart of Lagos State, Nigeria. Just in case you did not know, we are powered by the Diocese of Lagos Anglican Communion. If you are watching us live from Facebook or YouTube, shout out to you. And if you're wondering how you can watch us live, just quickly visit our Facebook page. It's Facebook.com/Lagoonradio Nigeria. And on YouTube, you can also watch us live at LagoonTV. Do not forget to also follow us on social media. On Instagram, we are at Lagoonradio NG. And of course, you can listen live. You can download our app from the Google Play Store. Yes. Okay, I'm your host, Abu Abi, and right about now, it's 15 minutes past the hour of 5 p.m. here in our Lagos studio. And of course, it's the 13th day in the month of July 2021. And by this time of the day, on a Tuesday, you already know that we are taking a trip to somewhere special in the world. Yes. Okay, if you're wondering where we're traveling to this time around, we're going to Malaysia. Yes. Today on the show, we are going to be taking a trip to Penang. Yes, Penang, a city in Malaysia. Actually, a state in Malaysia. Okay, so just a little thing you should know about this very beautiful place that we're going to be paying a visit to. We're actually going to be looking at some of the most visited places in Penang in Malaysia. Yes, so if you're thinking or if you've heard about this place before and you're confused or you don't know exactly where you should visit when you decide to take a tour to the to the country of Malaysia, then you definitely want to stay connected, because I'm going to be sharing with you a couple of places that other tourists have sworn by. They tell you this place is the best, and we've investigated and they're the best, and so we're definitely going to be going there. So the Malaysian state of Penang consists of an island and also of a peninsula that is connected to each other by the two longest bridges in the country of Malaysia. Okay. There's a place called Georgetown. It's also Penang's capital, and this particular place has become a major tourist destination in Malaysia, and this is because of its colonial architecture. It's connecting to the World War II. Yes, actually, if you want to have a sense or a feel of what World War II was like, or the remains of that time, you actually get to see that when you visit Malaysia. And it also has a lot of green spaces, which include everything from former botanical gardens to tropical jungles, okay? And we're going to be looking more into places like this that you should visit when we come back from the music break. Yes, so this is where you invite your friends. Tell them Travel With Me is on with your host, Abu Abi. And when we come back from this music break, we'll be looking at the coolest places for you to visit in Penang, Malaysia. Don't go anywhere. Stay connected.
It's amazing how you speak right to my heart. Without saying a word, you can light up the dark. Try as I may, I could never explain what I hear when you don't say a thing. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. The touch of your hand says you'll catch me if ever I fall. Yeah, you say it best when you say nothing at all.
You are listening to Lagoon Radio.
All day long I can hear people talking.
Yes, you're welcome back from that music break. If you're just joining us. You are listening to Travel with Me. This is your one-stop travel destination show on radio, brought to you by Lagoonradio, your number one online gospel radio, and of course powered by the Diocese of Lagos Anglican Communion. It's 19 minutes past 5 p.m. And yes, today we are traveling to the very beautiful state of Penang in Malaysia. And we're going to be visiting some of the coolest places based on testimonials, based on people's reviews. These are the top and must visit places when you go to Penang. And the first place on my list is the Habitat Penang Hill. Yes. Now, this particular place, the Habitat Penang Hill, is a rainforest of its own, okay? It gives you that rainforest experience that takes you into the heart of the jungle, and it lets you feel all the sounds, all the colors. You know, when we watch movies and they're zooming in into the jungle and you can hear the birds creak, you can hear the leaves waving, that sound. This is actually what you enjoy when you visit the Habitat Penang Hill, okay? There's so many beautiful colors, the greenery of the forest you also get to enjoy, and you get to breathe fresh air, okay? Fresh air. When it comes to anywhere that is outside of Lagos State, I tell you, you need to breathe a different type of air for you to know that air is different from air, okay? Okay, so yes, your first contact with nature is through the 1.6 kilometer long nature trail, okay? There's a natural trail that has of course been made by human passage, and this is how you're going to get to the hill, okay? And this trail also cuts through the ancient forest over rolling hills, and that are over rolling hills and far above the Adamant Sea, okay? These are the things that you can actually see from many miles away, okay? So if you actually want to enjoy a more stunning view of this particular surrounding, okay, visitors or tourists who have been to this place say that also have the Lunga Way canopy walk. You know how we have a canopy walk at the how we have a canopy walk here in Lagos State at our own conservation center. Yes, they equally have a canopy walk like that. And this particular canopy walk is about 15 meters up in the air. So when you're there, you can see everything. You can see people are going to be looking like ants in your eye. Yeah? So the canopy walk is 15 meters up in the air and about 230 meters long. So if you want to enjoy adventure, okay, you want to get that feel of nature at the same time you actually want to push your adventurous limits, you definitely want to visit the Habitat Penang Hill. That's one of the awesome places for you to visit when you visit Penang in Malaysia. Okay, moving on from that, another great place that you can also visit is the Clanjetties Georgetown. Now, when we started the show, I talked about the Georgetown and how it's popular, especially because it has that feel of World War III. Yeah. So you can actually see the aftermath of the events that happened during the World War II, I beg your pardon, when you visit the Georgetown, okay? Now, Clanjetties, as it's called, is a very, it's actually a unique type of water settlement created by Chinese immigrants in the late 19th century. Okay, originally this place consisted of a single structure that was used as a sort of a small warehouse where the loading and unloading of products and materials for a particular trade or industry happened, okay? So this is literally a waterside where a lot of trade used to happen back then back in the 19th century, okay? But there are about 6 types of this water settlements, and they are beautifully connected. The beauty of the Clanjetties is how beautifully connected the waters are. I wouldn't even call it a lake because it's not exactly a lake, but it's also not an ocean. So it's just in between, and it's beautifully connected to one another. Okay, because this is a man-made place, you know that it takes a lot of maintenance. So up until today, this particular Clanjetties has been well maintained, and it still reserves a great spot when it comes to tourists, and they're always attracted. So if you ever get to visit Penang, you also want to visit Clanjetties in Georgetown. Yeah, okay. All right, moving on from that, we also have the Entopian by Penang butterfly farm. Now, Entopia is, if you're wondering what Entopia is, it is Penang's new butterfly farm. Okay, it's actually a massive glass conservatory where over 15,000 free flying butterflies live among themselves in a waterfall. Okay, it has this lush tropical greenery, and it was actually recreated. It has recreated natural features. So if you're gonna see varieties of colors of butterflies freely flying, about 15,000 of them when you visit the Entopian by Penang Butterfly Farm. Okay, now this particular place also is divided into two main sections. You have the natural land and you have the cocoon. Now the natural land is a living garden varium that encompasses the main butterfly area, plus ponds and special areas where you can see snapping turtles, you can see frogs, you can see a lot of other animals in a large number just living there because it's a natural place. Then the cocoon is also a discovery center, okay, where visitors can actually learn about the butterflies and participate in hands-on activities. So when you're here, you know that you're actually going to be performing some activities, one activity or the other, because you're going to meet other people. You're going to be lectured on history, on the butterflies, how they got to come there, how they're able to preserve the butterflies there, how they make sure that the butterflies don't become endangered, right? So this is a butterfly farm. This farm is dedicated to butterflies and some other animals. So you actually get to learn the history. And when you're learning the history, of course, you have some hands-on activities. Okay, so the Entopian is actually a two-story center, also offers short nature learning programs for both children and grown-ups. So if you're say you're interested in learning certain things about nature, you actually want to learn, you can actually get that education here also. So it's not just vacation, you also get education. How about that? Okay, also moving on to another great place I totally, absolutely have to visit in Penang is the historical street of Georgetown. Now, Georgetown is the capital of Penang. So it's not like one, it's a very large area and it has so many features to it. So that's why you've probably heard Georgetown a couple of times already in the show, but this place is actually very big. So it has a lot of features that you cannot exhaust in one day. Okay, so yeah, so that's another thing you actually get to enjoy, the historical streets of Georgetown. Now Georgetown, like I said, is Penang's capital. It's actually a stunning mix of European and Asian influences, and actually, over the past 5 centuries, the city has grown into a vibrant port town and a tourist destination also. And the good thing about it is that it hasn't lost the unique legacy that caused her to receive a UNESCO World Heritage Site status in 2008. So this place has actually been approved by UNESCO, so you can imagine how it's going to look now. One of the things that actually attracts people to Georgetown is the architectural buildings, the ancient buildings. So if you're into those sort of things, you like to look at buildings that were built way back in the 18th century, maybe the 17th century or the 19th century, you can still enjoy that feel of old and new architectural buildings. Okay, so while Georgetown architecture is impressive anywhere, the old streets around the Lube Archie historical enclave holds the most significance, from old Chinese shop houses all the way to British colonial mansions and also clan houses, to a number of temples representing several religions. Okay, these historical streets are fascinating to explore. Now, if you're, say, a Nigerian and you're actually going here, what you get to enjoy here, like I said, is the buildings. The architecture is fantastic. You're going to be able to get a feel of a different culture. You're going to see you're going to see you're going to also get a feel of different religions, and of course the history that surrounds Georgetown is just awesome, and you will definitely enjoy this one. Okay, before I give you more places, we're going to go on another music break. When we come back from that music break, we will continue with some of the most visited, most excellent places for you to visit when you travel to Penang in Malaysia. Do not go anywhere. I'll be back shortly.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin? Oh, if I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. But some things are meant to be. Oh, and take my hand, oh, take my
You are listening to
whole
Lagoon Radio.
life. Oh, for I can't help falling in love
With you. Okay. I'm trying to discover my talent. I'm trying to tap every potential that the Lord has given me. Please. All right, y'all. Welcome back from that music break. It's still Travel With Me show here on Lagoon Radio. And of course, I'm still your host, Abu Abi. Now, if you haven't downloaded our Lagoon Radio app, what are you waiting for? No, like really, what are you waiting for? Please download the app from Google or Apple Store. Remember, you can also listen live via the website. That's www.lagoonradio.ng. And if you aren't following us on social media yet, it's like, what's the problem? Please follow us on social media. On Instagram, we are at Lagoon Radio NG, and on Facebook, it's Lagoon Radio Nigeria. You can actually watch us live, even on YouTube at LagoonTV. Yes, these are the channels with which you can connect with us. Okay, if you're just joining in, we have been traveling, to Penang in Malaysia, and I've been sharing with you some of the top most visited places or top must see places when you travel to Penang for a vacation whatsoever. So yes, I'm just going to continue. Before we went on that break, I actually talked about the historical streets of Georgetown. I also talked about the Entupian by Penang Butterfly Farm. I also talked about the Clan Jetties and of course the Habitat Penang Hill. All right, so moving on quickly from that, we also have the Fort Cornwallis. Yes. Penang's most famous landmark is also the largest fort in the country of Malaysia, okay? Although only one outer wall with cannons remains from the original 1780 bastion, there are enough structures left behind it to give you the idea of the massive size of the original fort. Now, if you stroll through the well cared for green lawn to find the remains of prison cells, a chapel, and a storage area that was once used to keep ammunitions, that's actually what you find here. This is the town where ammunitions were stored during the World War II. Okay, and you also in this place you're also going to find a bronze statue of Captain Francis Light, who originally ordered the building of the fort itself. And these are the things you will see, and the entrance. This is what you see that welcomes visitors as you're coming through the gate of the Fort Cornwallis. And And the fort never actually saw any actual comebacks. That's the funny thing. Ammunitions were just stored here. They just had prison cells here. They just had a statue and all of that. And it was mostly used as an administrative point, more like, okay. And over the years, additional buildings and statues, of course, have been added, including a steel lighthouse with a design that resembles a ship's mast. Okay, while there are small exhibits throughout the fort that explain some form of history, the space is mostly used by locals as a park to actually spend a quiet afternoon in the sun. So yes, the Fort Cornwallis is a must visit place. Like I said, it holds a lot of history. If you want to also get that feel of what it was like for the administrators during the World War II, what the kind of how they sat, what they could see, how far into the city they could see from the fort, you definitely want to visit the Fort Cornwallis. Okay, another place is the Penang War Museum. Now you're thinking, did a lot of war happen here? Actually, yes. Actually, yes, but all of that is now history, and they now have it has now become history, right? And they just have things that still tell you that story. So yeah, if you're adventurous, you really want to be here. So yes, the Penang War Museum is another place that you also want to visit. This is another place that holds a lot of history. You're going to see a lot of barrack blocks. You're going to see a number of photographs and testimonials from the time of war. You're actually going to see pictures of soldiers, both the ones who were victorious, both the ones who lost their lives to the war. You actually get to see a lot of those things. In fact, what you need to know is that the Penang War Museum is South Asia's largest war museum ever. Okay. And it's also a memorial to the many men who actually suffered and died under occupation. Now, the museum's main attraction, if you're asking, are all at least partially underground. Actually, some of them are as deep as 10 meters under the earth, including ammunition bunkers, pill boxes. You also get to find pill boxes are concrete posts or small fortifications that were used to hide when they were firing at their enemy back then when they had to war. You're also going to find a communication center, an escape tunnel that leads you to where the submarines once stood in wait for soldiers who were trying to escape. So you actually get to see all of these things in this very beautiful museum. Okay. Moving on from the museum, another place you want to visit is the Batu Ferangi night market. Okay, this night market is open until midnight every day. That's from morning till midnight. You can actually come to this market and buy something. This massive night market has over 100 stores and tons of character. It's actually the perfect place for you to pick up traditional souvenirs, including batik prints. You can also get their plates. You can get their delicate paper lamps. If you want to, when you travel and you want to, buy souvenirs for your family back home to tell them, hey, I went to Penang. This is where you can actually buy some nice traditional artifacts that you can share with your family and friends. Even their famous clothing, the watches, the wristwatch, the purse, as well as so many other things that you can purchase here. Also, at this market, you also have restaurants. Okay, restaurants and food stores line up the street here. You can actually get food in this same area. Okay, so you actually get a chance to try a number of delicacies. Okay, even the traditional meal of Malaysian people, you get to enjoy that at the Batu Ferangi night market. Okay, all right, moving on real fast. We also have the Penang National Park. Okay, Penang National Park might be one of the smallest in the world. It's calculated at just 23 square kilometers, but it actually still contains 5 very distinct habitats with over 400 different plant species. And also, in addition to the forests and the mangroves that you actually find here, there is also a long stretch of sea coast with timber trees lining up the white powdery sand and coastal habitats. So yes, the Penang National Park is also another place that you want to visit. Then we also have the botanical gardens as well. The Penang Botanic Gardens is also a place that you should visit when you travel to Penang. And we have the Kek Loksi Temple, okay? Now, this particular temple is over 100 years old and is also the largest Buddhist temple in Malaysia, okay? The Kek Loksi Temple is home to a 7-tiered pagoda, okay? And it actually has a 37-meter tall bronze sculpture of Kuan Yin, the Buddhist goddess of compassion. So yeah, you can actually see that when you travel to Penang and you visit the temple. Now, you also have you have the national park, and you have the Penang Hill Funicular. Okay, that was actually built in 1923, and it was completely overhauled in the year 2010. Okay, so the Penang Hill Railway, which also has the world's steepest tunnel track, climbs Penang Hill and offers beautiful green open views over the city, so you can enjoy the greenery in this particular place or so. Yes, and these are a few places. There are so many other places, but these are a few of the places that tourists have testified and given great reviews about when it comes to this very beautiful country of Malaysia. And I promise you, if you're going to be traveling to Malaysia, you definitely want to visit this particular places that I have mentioned. Yes. Okay, time is no longer on our side, and unfortunately we have to bring the show to an end. Don't forget that Travel With Me is your travel show. It comes your way every Tuesday on Lagoon Radio from 5 p.m. Yes, and if you haven't followed us on social media, please do so. Lagoon Radio Nigeria, and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at LagoonTV. Also, you remember to always catch us live. You can even watch a rebroadcast of this live on our Facebook page at Lagoon Radio Nigeria. I'm still your host, Ebo Abi, and until I come your way again next time with another awesome destination, don't forget to stay happy. Yeah, I love you. Thanks to my producer, Simidele. Okay. Okay. Oh my days.
Her eyes make the stars look like they're not shining. Her hair falls perfectly without her trying. She's so beautiful. I tell her